I think I do. God danced the day you were born. Angels did the bump up to Gabriel's horn. God danced the day you were born. So grateful for the gift of you. I have heard some folks say that long ago God could not dance to save his soul, but people, I've seen him shake that jelly roll. So grateful for the gift of you. I have heard some folks say that long ago God could not dance to keep his soul, but people, I've seen him shake that jelly roll. So
Grateful for the gift of you. So grateful for the gift of the little wheel is turning and it's trying to catch up. God danced the day you were born. The angels did the bump to Gabriel's horn. God danced the day you were born. So grateful for the gift of you. So grateful for the gift of you. I think we'll stop there.
grateful for the gift of you. I saw God do the funky chicken, stepping and kicking and sledges, yeah. I saw God do the boogaloo, so grateful for the gift of you. I have
So grateful for the gift of you. Yeah. Happy birthday, Megan.
Happy birthday, Megan. Howla.
Happy birthday, Megan. Howla. I saw God do the funky chicken.
Oh, I love it. I love it that we just roll with whatever happens. It's all good.
Oh.
Thank you guys so much for being here. This is our last gratitude journey, sharing, and practice. So we finished the gratitude journey, and I was really excited to been getting feedback from the WhatsApp group. There were, I think, 111 people on that, and then we had all the people on email, so around 200. And I don't know about you guys, could really feel the field of gratitude and really enjoying the just the way that it's impacted people. So just open it up for sharing. If anyone who participated wants to share, or anyone who didn't participate wants to talk about their experiences with gratitude. Well, I'll read then, since no one here is ready to share anything. I'll read some of the feedback that came in on the WhatsApp group. Some of it felt really inspiring to me, because most of the people in the WhatsApp group are not from our World Consciousness community, and hadn't received the teachings from Teacher Wei on gratitude. And I did try to weave some of that in, and you probably recognized it, but I'll read a couple of things. Each day, right when I got up, I read the message and practiced. Throughout the day, I was reminded of the day's lesson and took one small action. That was in the form of looking outside and being grateful for the magical trees, or walking in the forest and noticing the birds, or appreciating my husband who can sometimes get on my nerves. Please keep things like this from coming. Someone else wrote, "This has been a powerful, magical experience. I'll be returning again and again to these practices and perspective shifts." And it's kind of fascinating to read things from people who aren't in the community. One person wrote, "I'm still working with the prompts, but this journey has shifted my whole outlook on the year ahead and maybe on my life entirely." That feels really like I sort of feel like I want to post something about the upcoming course in this so that people can, join us and experience it even more. Someone else wrote, "Love the balance in it, especially at this time of great distractions. Where we put our attention grows. I fully believe that this collective helped the world at this pivotal time." So I'll just stop there because my intention was for us to, deepen the practices that Teacher Wei gave us, and then I, expanded on them and pulled in some of the universal principles that I hadn't known about when Teacher Wei was talking about universal principles. And I feel that the field of gratitude, is within the Mingjue awareness consciousness field. And I've been feeling into all the different feelings and the wisdom in the field. And gratitude has opened my heart to feeling it more and more. So thank you for all of you who were there with us or just in the field with us. Gary.
Yeah, and I had something I wanted to share. I guess one of the biggest things that it did for me was it made me think about everything that I've taken for granted. Nothing really specific, but everything. And so I don't take it for granted anymore. And if I really think about those things, little and some of them are quite large, that is really things that I'm actually really down deep grateful for. And I don't know why, but it just seems like over the years I've just taken stuff for granted, and I shouldn't do that. So it kind of woke me up in that respect. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Gary. And thank you for saying that so eloquently. I think that resonates with me too. I mean, whatever the topic for the day was, whether it was like water and food and remembering how blessed we are that we have access to them, or I mean, there were only 21 days of it. There were so many more things we could do, but our attention gets placed outside of that, and we just don't pay attention to the blessings and the miracles that are happening every day because our attention is on other things. I'm so glad it was helpful in bringing your attention back to that. Thank you for sharing. Ella. It's also so nourishing to our the coherence between our mind and our heart and our body and our nervous system and regulating our nervous system. I know the first few posts were pretty heavy on explaining that aspect of it, but I've been working with the Heart Math app that I mentioned at the beginning of the year I had just bought, and every time I step into the field or step into the feeling of gratitude, my scores on the coherence app go way up and stay there the longer I can stay in gratitude. And the lesson this morning that I was listening to was about how our prefrontal cortexes are so first they're so stimulated by stress and the cortisol and the adrenaline that's produced when we see or respond to something stressful. And gratitude and breathing into our hearts, like level. Sorry, excuse you, Maggie. That was Maggie. Helps level that out and replace that cortisol and adrenaline with dopamine and oxytocin and serotonin. So it has such powerful physiological benefits too. Anyone else want to share anything? Tom.
I'm reading a book on manifesting that's very different than any other book I've read. And it starts out with saying that gratitude and stewardship are connected together, that taking care of what you already have as an active way, and maybe you had that in the course, I didn't follow the course, but it changed things for me. Just, brushing my teeth got different. I made some bread and I really enjoyed making the bread more than just eating it. It's like, it really stewardship, like the action of really taking care of and loving the things I already have, really shifted me into more of a being state and a natural gratitude. And it says that stewardship and gratitude are joined at the hip. They are just naturally connected. They also said that energy field then is the strongest field for manifesting and bringing in new abundance. So I love that whole, it made so much sense to me. And it was much more not about thinking about so much what you want, but noticing that you're in such a high vibrational field by taking care of and appreciating what you already have, that you naturally attract more into your life. And that's really shifted my energy field. It's been a really nice practice.
Thank you for sharing that, Tom. And Elizabeth is asking, what's the title of the book?
Oh, golly.
No rush.
Joe Dispenza says, this is the book on manifesting he's ever read. So that's why he got me to buy it. It's called The Forgotten Laws of Manifestation by Aria Vale. So.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, that law of coherence is one of the universal principles, that when we're in that high vibration, we attract more and more to us. There was a mini teaching about that, but I could definitely see how that could be a whole book. I have been thinking about, that teaching in the Bible from Jesus, to those who have, more will be given, and to those who have not, what they have will be taken away. I never thought that sounded like Jesus. I thought that doesn't sound very even loving. To those who have, more will be given. But then I decided, if you put the word gratitude in there, those who have gratitude, more will be given. And to those who don't have gratitude, they won't be given. I thought that describes the universal principle of coherence. So I just substitute that in there now. Angie.
I want to thank you for that, Tom, because it made me aware of one of the subtle things. I've been noticing really subtle gratitudes a lot. Even this morning as we were sitting here, and I've been very aware of how much of the country is struggling and how many people are out of power. And I sat here and put my vest on because I was chilly. I was so grateful both for having the vest and that I'm just chilly. I'm not huddled in a room with a candle, not knowing when this is going to get over. I also, during these days when we haven't been able to go out much, I have actually been loving creating food from leftovers and from stuff that was still here from before Alex and Caitlin moved out, and just kind of working with food in a different way, and being grateful that there was still some of this in the house, or that we had this spice to experiment with that we'd never had before, and that the groundedness of some of it is surprising to me. And other times it stretches all the way to the huge, because I feel like I also have been more courageous spiritually. And I feel like the gratitude practices have opened me to being able to go deeper in myself and clean out some spiritual basement stuff, and have the support for doing it, and grateful for the support of this community, and the times the support of just going to the world consciousness field because I couldn't figure out what else to do with it, and having a therapist who can let me slide from psychological frustration to spiritual issues without blinking. So just so much gratitude for, in the midst of all of this weather stuff and chaos stuff and pain, also being able to touch the opening of the gratitude and of the possibilities. So thank you all.
Thank you, Angie. Gratitude has helped me go deeper spiritually too. Robin.
First of all, thank you so much, Stephanie. I think one of the things about the gratitude practice is that keeping things alive that we're grateful for more often. Instead of, did something lovely and it felt really good and I'm really grateful. But I think this practice helps keep those things alive longer, like remaining in gratitude longer. 2 nights ago, I guess it was 2 nights ago, we all of a sudden heard that we had a pastor in town at our little Lutheran church, which is the most socially active, amazing group of people I've ever met. He went to Minnesota and he said, "Let's sing." We came together in that little church, and there's been so many songs written in Minnesota, and we sang them solidly for an hour. And this is a tiny church, and they sit in a circle, and there were probably 40 of us or something like that. And as he said, you're creating oxytocin by singing and singing together. So there was this incredible field. And what I love because of the gratitude practice is that I can keep reliving that, rebringing it up, going to that place again, that community, the strength of community helps us deal with everything that's going on. So thank you.
Thank you. How blessed we are to have this community.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that don't. And I think that might be part of why we're in the situation that we're in. Does anyone else want to share? Just one.
I was just sitting here and I could just feel my whole heart in gratitude for all of these shares, for being here. And the words of the song just came back, you know, that great gratitude that we were all born and that we're all here. Grateful for everyone. It's just a delicious moment.
Thank you.
It's funny, I always think I'm not going to say anything, but then I'm just inspired by what everybody else is saying. And I wanted to thank Robin for what you said, because I'm sitting here going, noticing how I felt when I appreciated something that happened in my life. And what I'm noticing is, like I was describing the day that I had a few days ago when I spontaneously went on a little drive with my husband. We decided to stop someplace to get something to eat. And I'm still savoring how delicious that meal was. And that's a feeling of gratitude. So I love the idea, Robin, of just revisiting what has made me grateful. And it's I have that feeling now just thinking about that. Had a great meal last night for dinner, and it's like, it feels so good to appreciate the things that have already happened. Anyway, yeah, there you go. I'm going to keep doing that for sure.
Well, thank you, Linda.
I'm aware of Teacher Way's teaching where he talked about being grateful for the triggers. And I've had 2 or 3 times in the last week where somebody has said or done something that has just triggered me massively for stuff that I didn't know was unresolved. And my first thought each time is, you have got to be kidding. I'm supposed to deal with this now in the midst of all of this. And yet, the space that it gives me inside, I've ended up really getting it. That often the person who said something that triggered me, I mean, one of it was Bobby said we need to leave the water running so the pipes don't freeze. And it brought me back to a situation when I was 20, and it was like, I don't want to go there. And yet, the real sense of gratitude for the triggers towards growth, for the being able to set down the stuff I was afraid to look at in those 5 years of my life, which I made a great big cushion around it to make sure I didn't have to look. And yet so it really brings some of the teachings that he has given us that at the time I thought, he doesn't have the same triggers I do, which I knew wasn't true. They're not the same, but they take you to the same places, the places you didn't want to go. So I'm grateful for this community and for the depth and the challenges of his teachings. And I had made the commitment last September that every day, if we didn't have a practice, I would either do a solo practice or listen to a recorded practice. And one of the ones I go to periodically when I have about 30 minutes is the peace practice that had the 3 women speaking. And Teresa, who spoke in the middle, had about a 30-minute practice of just a healing practice that feels good to me. And this time, I heard her say, we have to remember it's easy to love our friends. It's hard to love our enemies. And the challenge of that for me, it took me 2 days to figure out what had been triggered. But the spiritual challenge that I have heard before and have seriously tried to open to following before in situations like we're going through in the country, where I got to separate people off and have some be on the other side. And it's still a challenge, and yet it's a different possibility, and it's a different experience to go to the world consciousness field and take with me the people who I haven't seen myself as being like. So, and I'm so grateful that you all are here to hold me in this part.
Thank you, Angie. I think we can all share in that. I've been working with that too, just trying to imagine the field like sunshine wrapping around the whole planet and indiscriminately loving everyone. Even though I'm not yet loving everyone, but imagining the love going to them. Does anyone else want to share, or we can go into practice? Okay. So taking whatever posture feels good to you, sitting, lying down, standing. And feeling your feet plunging deep into the earth. The whole area from lower dantian down, merging down into the earth like a tree whose roots extend down and out. Into that mycelium network, that field of connection beneath us, the heartbeat of Mother Earth, the Schumann resonance. So chin tucks in slightly, our byway lifts up and extends up past the clouds, the moon, the sun, into the center of the Milky Way, receiving the purest, finest Huanyan Qi and the best information, the energy and information of creation, of sustenance, of eternal nourishment. Extending out in all directions simultaneously. Merging with the Mingjue pure awakened consciousness field. Merging with love, gratitude, peace, joy, acceptance. Merging with the wisdom, gentle healing, and awakening that the masters and sages of the ages have built into the field. That the teachers and practitioners and we ourselves have built into the field. And receiving it. Dropping our intentions into the field. That the whole world can experience this love, peace, joy, gratitude, acceptance, healing, awakening. And feeling gratitude for the blessings that have flown to us throughout our lives and to those that are on their way to us now. Dropping our intentions into this field for those in need, all different types of need. And letting it ripple like a drop in the ocean. Feeling Mingjue come to Shenji Palace. That Mingjue love light lights up Shenji Palace and begins to spread through every nook and cranny of our head, through the muscles, the skull, the tissues, spreads throughout all of our sensory organs. Attuning our ability to see and hear, taste and speak blessings. This liquid love light runs down our neck through the tissues and vertebrae there, through the muscles, moving through any blockages. moving down into our shoulders, lifting any burdens that we're carrying off of our shoulders, moving through that space and down our arms, into our hands, empowering our hands to give and receive. Love and light. Moving into our chest, our lungs, our respiratory system, our heart, our whole cardiovascular system. Receiving this love light, merging, purifying, transforming, moving into our chest, to our immune system, to our liver, our gallbladder, our spleen, our stomach, our pancreas. Illuminating any shadows or darkness from the past that hasn't been processed. Moving into our digestive system, digesting what we may not have been able to digest before. And turning it into nourishment. It moves through our reproductive system, then our bladder, our kidneys and our adrenals. Relax. Mingjue moves through our spine, through our central nervous system, our endocrine system, into our very bone marrow. Into all systems known and unknown as it moves down our legs, through our knees, our calves, our ankles, and our feet, guiding us every step of the way on our journey to remembering that we are one. We are love. We are gratitude. We are peace. We are happiness. We are acceptance. And knowing that we are one, we are this divine love light, pure awakened consciousness. Just held together in form. We drop into the field the intention to help us always remember who we are and live to embody that love, to shine it out in all directions wherever we go. Shoo. Shoo. Grabbing a ball of chi in front of lower dantian. We open and close here, releasing all that's old, outdated, old data, old information, old belief systems, old limitations. Releasing them to the field, and receiving this beautiful Mingjue essence into all the space available when we release. Feel yourself at one with the universe. As the universe breathes you. Purifying, transforming. Updating and upgrading us and the whole planet. When you're ready, move your hands up to Huanyan Palace. Balancing, harmonizing, maximizing our potential and our ability to step into it with courage. With joy for who we are and who we are becoming. Moving hands to middle dantian. Continuing to open and close, release and receive. And when you're ready, move your hands to upper dantian. Purifying, transforming. And when you're ready, just drop your hands to your side for a moment. Feel the Mingjue entirety state. Feel yourself without form, just as an energy being. Balanced between heaven and earth. A transparent portal between heaven and earth. And reach out in front of you and scoop up a big ball of chi and raise it up above your head to the center of the Milky Way. Breathe in that essence. Hold your breath a moment and pour it down. Printing new body, new programs for life. Programs of the highest vibration. Pouring them through our transparent chi bodies, directing it down our legs as we bend over one vertebrae at a time. And reach down and scoop up a big ball of earth chi and raise it as we lift it up one vertebrae at a time through our transparent chi bodies and chi fields. Up into the center of the Milky Way. Pouring it down. Creating a new way of life. Guiding through lower dantian, guiding down through the legs. Scooping up another ball of earth chi, bringing it up, into the center of the Milky Way. Feel yourself as a transparent column of energy. pure. This nourishing light floods every cell, every atom, all the space within and around you to pour it down. Receiving the upgrades and the updates. And this time let your hands rest at your sides when you're at that point. You can put them on your hips. I'm going to do some hip rotations. Opening all the spaces. Receiving the purest energy and the best information. As we rotate when you're ready, switch to the other direction. And then when you're ready, you can pause and let your hands rest at the side a moment. And then let's extend them up to Duchi level and do some Chen Chi. Opening the heart, lungs, chest space. Moving through any blockages there. Deepening our capacity to give and to receive love. To feel joy and gratitude. To embody peace and harmony and acceptance. And finally, let's move our hands to Du Chi. Just take some breaths here as we integrate, setting the intention to turn on our Mingmen breathing program so we can receive the universal chi at all times and gather it in lower dantian. And setting the intention, if you'd like to run the in sound like music in the background throughout your day. Coming back to it easily. Helping us enter and sustain Mingjue state. Giving thanks to the field, to Dr. Pong, Teacher Wei, to all the teachers of Zen Qigong and all wisdom and healing traditions based on love, light, and wisdom. Giving thanks to the lineages and support the field. And to ourselves for showing up. Thank you, everyone. Howla, howla, howla.
Paula. Thank you, Stephanie, for offering this beautiful gratitude journey, 21 days, and also hosting our Tuesday for the month of January. Howla. Just want to
And
remind everyone that Elizabeth will be leading a practice this Thursday, and then we go into Teacher Way's new course. Then after that, we start up on Tuesday, I believe the 10th of February. So howla. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Yes. Did you want to say something, Elizabeth? Oh, okay. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Ciao.
Bye. Thank you. Thank
Beautiful.
you all for being here.